What is up, everybody? We have our good friend Alex Branning on here. He owns Agent CRM, which is the number one CRM in the world for insurance agents. We like to we have ourselves tagged as the niche masters. That's what I love about
Woohoo!
Alex. He is also niche down, right? He could offer CRM to anybody, but
Yeah.
his heart goes out to insurance agents, and he's helped us tremendously and has had a huge impact on our business. So, Alex, we appreciate you being on here, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me, Hunter. There's a lot going on in the insurance space right now, so huge changes coming.
Absolutely. That's exactly why we have Alex on here today. Because essentially the sky's falling, guys, right? You ever seen Chicken Little?
Mhm.
He's just running around like the sky's falling, the sky's falling. Right. And that's exactly how it feels. I feel like every time in the insurance industry, when things start to smooth out, it's just like, bam, here's another roadblock. Here's a smack in the face. Like, now what do we have to overcome? So, a lot of people are probably going, what the heck are they even talking about? Like, this is something that could seriously impact insurance agents as a whole. It doesn't matter if you're,
Yeah.
working from your office, working from home, using a power dialer. Like, this could really affect your business and cost you tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars if you don't understand what's going on here. And I usually don't get into stuff like this, but I think this is super duper important for the
Mhm.
insurance industry. So, Alex, tell us what we're even talking about here today.
Well, iOS 26 comes out. That is the new operating system that's going to be on all iPhones. And one of the features of the iOS 26 is the call screening feature. So if you go to the Apple website, type in iOS 26, one of the biggest things that they're advertising is the fact that they're now going to have this call screening feature. That means the call screening feature is going to intercept all calls that come in from an unrecognized contact. And it will have Siri talk to you before it ever interrupts the person you're calling. Siri is going to ask you what the point of the call is. You tell them, hey, I'm calling to talk about the insurance. Then the user will get a notification on their phone. You're getting a phone call from this number, and this is what they're saying the purpose of the call is. With a simple boop, they just ignore the call and it goes straight to voicemail. Two big things are happening with this. Number one, the person doesn't even have the phone ring or get a notification until you tell them the purpose of the call, which means like that's a huge like factor in and of itself, right? And then Apple is making it so easy to just hit ignore as you're describing what it is that you are calling about, right? Just boop, ignore. So if you were in the telesales space, right, Hunter? So we're calling people on their cell phone. This is going to dramatically impact how many iPhone users will even see that we're calling. This is huge. So, now how do we get around it? Good news. Yes, the sky is falling, quote unquote. iPhones are going to change how you get through to them, but there is a way around it. And that is, it's a relatively simple fix, thank goodness. Send a contact card to the person that you're about to call. So here's what this looks like. So they fill in a Facebook form, and then you have it go into your agent CRM account, send out those new lead notifications, and you're like, hey, what's up? Like, hey, Alex, this is Hunter. You just filled out my form asking about income protection. I'm going to be calling you in just a few moments. Or if you prefer, you can use this link to schedule a call on my calendar. Here's my contact card. Please save it on your phone. You attach the contact card to that initial text. That contact card, even if they don't save it, that contact card is seen as a file in the iPhone storage, and now you are a recognized contact. When you are a recognized contact and you call that person, the phone rings. Problem solved. So, yes, there's a dramatic change, but the good news is there is a simple fix. You send the contact card to the person so that they know who it is that's calling when you call. And Apple skips the call screening feature. So, it's a huge change that I just heard. There was a live video just a moment ago, and it was this prominent lead vendor. I'm not going to name him, but prominent lead vendor, huge in the space. And he's like, the iOS 26 is a nothing burger. That's what he said. Hunter, I want to bet 10 bucks right now. At the end of October, he's going to be telling every single person who buys leads from him to send a contact card. Because he's going to realize, oh crap, I'm selling leads and no one can get a hold of them. The
Right.
reason no one can get a hold of them is because they're not doing the simple thing to get around this call screening feature.
Yeah, and I was also reading, and Meta's kind of already doing it on the texting side. I didn't
Hmm.
realize that it was going to affect texting too. It's also going to affect the testing. And if you look in your Facebook and your message request, there's a spam folder for your
Yep.
message request. Well, Apple iOS 26 is also going to implement that as well. So, like Alex said, if you don't have that contact card saved and it, notices it as a file, your text messages may even go to spam. So
Yeah.
not just the calls, but the text, and then you're solely relying on hopefully they see my email, right?
Yeah.
So
Good luck
th
on the email side.
I mean, this is something like I feel like people are pushing under the rug, but I also feel like a lot of people haven't heard about it. The only reason I've heard about it is because of you. You're
Yeah.
the only person I've ever heard talk about this. And I was actually talking to Cody Askins about it the other day at 8% because I'm like, dude, this is a huge change. I mean, especially for somebody that generates leads for people,
Yep.
like now we have to adapt and overcome again, right?
Yep.
Just, I mean, I feel like I've heard stories of people, they're like, man, I'm struggling. COVID was hard on my business. Some people say COVID made their business just skyrocket, just
Yep.
was amazing. And so I tell people all the time, I'm like, bro, I made it through COVID. Like I can make it through anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm not worried about whatever comes up. We just adapt and overcome. But
Yeah.
I've done research on this iOS 26, and I really think it's going to have a big negative impact in the beginning
Hmm.
until we figure out how it's actually going to work. I've heard it's actually already in beta testing starting in July. So I
Yep.
haven't even looked at my phone. I don't know if it's something that you can turn on and turn off at the moment, if that's the beta testing or what, but it's supposed to be coming full blown sometime in October, correct?
Yeah. They're saying that iOS 26 is coming out sometime between mid-September and October 1. So I'm putting the deadline as October 1 just because I don't know when exactly it's going to come out, but I know it'll be out by October 1st. So, and yeah, this is going to be a huge shift. But Hunter, the frustrating thing for me is that you have people going live in their Facebook group saying it's a nothing burger. All they got to do is say this is coming. Here's a quick fix. Like this is not like, a huge. Then the way that things are now, it's going to stay the same past October 1st, right? But if you just choose to ignore it, let this change happen, not take the simple step to start sending a contact card, not send a contact card to your database so that they have it on file. If you for no good reason. There's no reason not to start implementing these small changes.
Yeah, and if you implement it now, it may not have any effect on you at all. You may not even notice it, right? But
Correct.
I have a feeling what's going to happen is come October, it's going to shut half the industry down, and people are going to go, "Oh my gosh, my leads aren't answering," and they're not
Hmm.
even going to realize that there's an iOS 26 update out there. They're going to think their leads suck, and they're going to be calling their lead vendor and saying, "Hey, none of these calls are even going through. Like I
Yep.
want a refund on all of my leads. Not a single
Yeah.
call has went through, even though you told me it was a verified lead, right? So it's going to create some chaos. But let's
Yeah.
look at the positive side of things. Like what good is this going to do for the insurance industry?
Yeah. So, quick note on the contact rate. When somebody fills out a form on Facebook looking for help with insurance, they have probably filled out multiple forms. Like they're probably actively looking with other people. If you take the small step of sending the contact card to the leads that you generate, then you have a higher likelihood of closing that business because you're the number that's going to go through. And also, the Facebook text verification that will work to verify that the number is real when they respond. But that will have no impact on them actually having their phone ring when you call.
Because it's
So
coming from a
that's
different
a
number.
huge thing of the call screening feature, right? So, but so for those of you that take action and make the change, this is going to be huge because, as Hunter said, a lot of people are choosing to ignore this. Like one of the biggest names in the industry just said it's a nothing burger, and he's got thousands of agents that listen to him. And so I'm assuming that none of those thousands of agents are going to do anything about it, which means that those of us that make the small shift and do the thing, then you're going to get through to more people. You're going to have those thousands of agents leads that are waiting to hear from an insurance agent, but don't even see that the phone rang because the person doesn't want to take the time to tell Siri why they're calling. Because let's be honest, that's a huge time suck. Well, now those leads all just became available to the insurance agent that's making the small changes in their communication methods so that the phone will ring when they call them. It's actually going to get, I think there's going to be more business for the insurance agent that makes the changes and just adapts than there was before this. But for the agents that choose not to do this, their contact rate, while it's already pretty abysmal, their contact rate is going to go in the crapper, Hunter. It's going to be really bad. And they'll have no one to blame but themselves and the people that are telling them to just move forward as if nothing's going to change. Moving forward without making this small, teeny, tiny shift in how you communicate is, is silly. There's no good reason not to make the change, not to include the contact card, not to adjust by the rules that Apple's iPhone is telling us to play by. So just do the small thing. It's not even like there we have a free contact card generated by us. Like there's no cost to it. Just do it. Just go to the bottom of agentcrm.com's homepage, click on the free contact card generator, plug in your information, download your contact card, and that's it. There you go. Like you're done. Now include that on all your outgoing text messages. It's as easy it really is. So again, this is a huge deal, but yes, the sky is falling, but you have an umbrella. Your umbrella is send the contact card. Everything will be fine. I mean, it's still hard. Telesales is hard, but you're not going to notice a huge shift in your contact rate. Whereas if you don't do this, you're going to have a big problem getting a hold of people on an iPhone because your call will be screened and they won't even know that you're calling.
Yeah, when I first started in the industry and I was doing final expense, and I was even running face to face, but I was trying to book appointments. So I was dialing so many times that I was having to use like phone burners and stuff and keep fresh phone numbers. And sometimes I would call through all of my brand new leads. Like I would buy 40 leads, I would call through all of them and not get through to anybody. And then it would dawn on me like, hey, let me check my number and see if it's spammed. I just called all of my brand new leads on a spammed out number. Like that's going to kill my contact rate already, right? So this is kind of what I was thinking earlier. I was thinking because Apple already has a feature where you can turn it on and off if you don't want to
Mhm.
receive calls from unknown numbers. So
Yeah.
I get a lot of crappy calls, spam calls and stuff like that, and it's super annoying. So what I've done was I've turned it on, like problem solved. Well, guess what? I give my contact info to agents on Facebook Messenger saying, "Hey, give me a shout and we can, talk about strategies or whatever." And then the call doesn't go through, right? Or the doctor calls me. That's happened a couple times, or the dentist or something like that. They call me, call doesn't go through. Like I completely missed it, didn't even know they called at all. So I was thinking, well, what's going to happen is these people are going to realize they're missing calls and they're going to turn it off. But I don't think that's the case because it's going to be transcribed, right? So a lot of people, this is AI, guys. A lot of people think, oh, AI, that is we're going places with AI, and then now AI is kicking us in the teeth with Apple. So AI is actually going to transcribe the call. You have just a couple of seconds to get your point across, and the person can decide whether they want to answer the phone or not. So now we're going to have to use our brains to come up with a quick, 5 to 10 second script, to a hook, if you will, to grab their attention to try to get them to answer the phone call. And from what I'm hearing, it may kill out some robo dialers or power dialers because the phone quits ringing because it's being transcribed and there's a delay. So the power dialer may just kick it out and go to the next number, right? So
Yep.
it's going to cause some
Yeah,
issues. And I don't
I
think,
see power dialers as being useless. Yeah, I think, sorry to cut you off, Hunter. I think power dialers being a useless tool. You know, those triple line dialers.
yeah, for sure. I lose you. You're cutting out on me a little bit.
I'm still here. Sorry about that.
You cut out a little bit. But yeah, it's right now. I mean, I feel like it's the unknown. We don't know exactly how it's going to work, how it's actually going to take place. But being prepared, like I was using the analogy yesterday of insurance because we sell insurance, day to day, and a lot of times we get phone calls from people and they're like, "Hey, I'm out of work. I got hurt. Is there anything you can do to help me?" Well, you waited too long, right? Well, I live in North Texas,
Mm,
and every season we get all these tornadoes. I don't have a storm shelter, but every storm that comes in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I need to just spend the 5 grand and have somebody put in a storm shelter. But I never do it, right? The tornado has never actually hit me. It's hit our town. You can see them for miles where I live, but it's never actually gotten close. It's never actually torn anything up, so it never got serious enough. But at the same time, it could be one of those instances where, I waited too long, and now I can't make the right decision anymore. So similar to that, like why put these things off? Like Alex is saying, it's so easy to go inside of Agent CRM, set up your contact card, and be ready for this thing to roll out. You may even forget it even rolled out because you just railroaded
yeah.
right over it. Because Alex says this all the time. You need a nerd in your corner, right? I don't like messing with
Mhm.
CRM stuff. I'm 100% fine turning that over to Alex and his team. And we appreciate everything that is inside of the agency CRM. Everything that you guys have put together, phenomenal. We appreciate that so much because there's a
Yeah.
lot of done for you stuff in there that I don't have to have a tech degree or have to go through some class or training to figure out how to do it. A lot of it's already done for us. So you taking this next step and saying, "Hey,
Yep.
there's a problem coming. There's a roadblock. Let me show you how to get around that quickly." It's an easy setup. So
Mhm.
that's awesome. You and your team at Agent CRM have been phenomenal, man. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Yeah,
So
thank you, Hunter. Appreciate it, man. So, uh, go ahead.
what do you think, like, rumor wise? I mean, I know there's a rumor mill about this stuff, but what have you heard, like maybe some of the pros and cons that we aren't talking about? Like maybe stuff you've heard and you're like, that's a little
Mm.
far fetched. That's probably not going to happen.
Well, the call screening feature, I've heard it will be on by default. Some people say it will be off. Either way, it's going to be there, and they're going to tell people about it when they update to iOS 26, and Apple is going to encourage them to turn it on if it's not on by default. So you're going to see a mass adoption of this new feature. Whether it's on or off by default, it will be encouraged. Um, the the way to get around it, relatively simple. Send the contact card. What we're going to see, though, Hunter, is that a lot of the tele centers where they're just in the caves calling people all day long, cycling through numbers, those people are going to, I don't know how they're going to stay in business, to be honest with you. Because unless they're telling their agents to sit there and leave a transcribed message every single time, no matter what, I just don't know how they're going to stay in business. I think this is going to really hamper those folks. Um, Unless they start using mass text messages, which a lot of the telesales centers have moved away from sending text because of A2P. Because after a certain number of stops and the number dies, so they just don't text people. They rely exclusively on phone calls. I don't know how they're going to stay in business. I'm sure they're working on ways to identify this and figure out the cost analysis. I don't know how they're going to do it. Um, I see a huge increase. Actually, one of the things that I'm predicting is I see a huge increase in the number of agents that will use on-demand video calls. And by sending out a text message that says, "Hey, if you want to chat with me on video, I'm here right now." So I actually invested in a video platform called Quick. And QuickMeet allows you to send a link over text. They click on that link, and then you get a notification that somebody is live in your video room. You join it. This is all in a browser. This isn't using any software. It's all in a browser. And then you're chat with them on your phone, kind of like FaceTime, but you're just in your browser. And we're integrating that with Agent CRM so that those video calls are recorded and uploaded to your contact on Agent CRM. And that's going to give the consumer the power to choose when they decide to chat with you, right? And it also makes it so that now you, as the agent, are with your prospect, which it's a great way to connect and build that trust. So I see those types of calls becoming very popular in the insurance space. So I think we'll see that a lot around Medicare season this year. I think we're going to see a lot of those video calls, those video meetings happening because of this shift, but also because I think that's what consumers want. I think, especially with AI, I think they want that human connection and being able to have these calls on their phone on demand when they want it. I think that's going to be a huge draw. And I think the agents that embrace this new technology are going to be connecting to more people than the agents that don't. One of the things that, I say over and over again, I heard somebody else say it once is, selling the most insurance is talking to the most people, right? Like the person who sells the most insurance is the one who can talk to the most people. And iOS 26 is really crimping your style on talking to a lot of people. But if you adapt and move and give your consumers options on how they chat with you, you'll have an opportunity to talk to more people.
Yeah, I think it's really gonna make some changes with technology, because you have all these companies that create apps and things like that. Because in your mind, you may be thinking, well, I'll just quit buying leads. I'll start going back to mailers. Well, once the mailer comes back, you still got to call them and book an appointment,
Hmm.
or you're gonna have to go face to face and knock on their door. Or you're like, oh, well, I'll just take inbound calls. Well, some call center had to do an outbound dial to get that inbound call. So either way, an outbound dial has to go out. There's no way around, generating a phone call lead without an outbound dial somewhere.
Wow.
Um, so we're gonna have to figure out, how to get around it. What I'm thinking is I think it's going to be integrated within the CRM, but there has to be some sort of way that if your calendar is integrated with your CRM and you're dialing out through the CRM, there's got to be some type of way that when somebody books on your calendar in the CRM, that it kills that feature. That way your number goes out. Because I think it's really messed up if somebody sees your ad, they like what they hear, they book an appointment, they agree to the appointment, and then your phone call doesn't go through. Like that's messed up because you've spent a lot of money already trying to get in
Mhm.
front of that person. So I'm thinking there's got to be some kind of way that kills that internally. That way the call can go out without any problems. What do you
If they
think?
have your contact card saved, then when you call them, it will go through.
Perfect.
That's how to get around it. So, because that's really the only way. It's got to be a contact that they have saved on their phone. And once that is saved, then you're good. Every time you call them, your number will pop up on their phone will ring or buzz, and you'll be able to chat with them without going through the call screening feature.
Yeah, we're not going to go backwards, that's for sure. Like
Nope.
you may be thinking, oh, well, some people will go back to the field and go face to face. I don't think so, right? We never went back to riding horses. We just kept innovating the car, making it better, right? So this is just something, a technology interrupt, and we're just going to have to find a way to overcome it and get around it, and we will be the pioneers of that. Alex
Yep.
will be the pioneer of that. He's already working on it, and I rely on people like Alex for their info. There's a lot of people out there putting out info, and if you're just ignoring it or not listening to it or not applying what you're being told, I mean, I've been fighting this AI thing for a while. I don't want anything to do with AI, right? That might be, I'm thinking it's good for like technical type stuff. But for me, I mean, I'm just dialing leads and making phone calls and writing apps. Like I don't see AI as a super duper tool in my business to take me to a whole nother level. I don't see it yet. Maybe my eyes aren't open wide enough, but I'm fighting it, But here we are with iOS 26, and we can't fight it anymore. We have to do something
Yep.
about it.
Yep. Yep. Good news. There's an easy solution. So, we know that it's going to get harder, but there is a fix. Apple has given us the game plan to get through the call screening feature. And that is make sure that your contact is a recognized contact, which means it's saved on their phone. Or the loophole right now that we're seeing is that they have simply received your contact card file and the phone recognizes the contact card file, even if they haven't saved it yet. I don't know how long that loophole is going to be there. So my recommendation is make sure that you're telling all of your contacts, whether it's a new lead or an appointment set, to save your contact card to their phone so that they have it.
Absolutely. My recommendation is you sign up for Agent CRM, and they will help you through all of it. Right? Like I said, Alex is the only person out here talking about it. Me and Alex were just at the 8% conference together in Dallas, so I literally didn't hear anybody else talking about any of this. So
Mhm.
if you want to stay ahead of this curve and not have these roadblocks and not have to figure out how to get around these problems when they arise, sign up for Agent CRM.
Yep.
They have the solution already, right? It's already there. They'll help you with the setup. They have a team of VAs to help you with these things. That way you're not just out there, right? How many times you signed up for a CRM and they're like, here it is, and you got to figure it out. It's just a blank slate, right?
Mhm.
That is what is so great about Agent CRM. Um, like I said, you want to get around that curve. This is how to do it. Lean on people like Alex. I lean into Alex all the time. I call him with questions and ideas and strategies, and most of the time, he points me in the right direction. Right.
Oh,
So
no.
sometimes
The,
it's
the
like I have,
disclaimer most of the time. Oh no.
yeah. Sometimes I have an idea, and you're like, no, and I'm like, all right,
Oh.
no. But CRM, never any problems with CRM
Yeah.
for sure.
Awesome. Thank you,
So
Hunter.
man, we appreciate your time today. I think this is super duper important news. I'm glad you're way ahead of it. You have a couple of months to prepare. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till that sucker gets
Mm-mm.
turned on and you're like dialing through all your leads going, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then somebody's like, hey, remember that iOS 26 update they were talking about a couple months ago? Yeah, it's here. Now you got to figure out it may cost you a couple of days of work, right? It just might wreck your whole week because you weren't prepared for it. So, Alex, we appreciate you, man, and
Yeah.
your team. And I've gotten to know some of the people on your team, and they're just downright amazing. So, thank you for that.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Hunter. Thanks for having me on, man.